missed that. Good morning. We are going to kick off the first Monday of the new year, January, with some goal setting. If you don't have a notebook and a pen, grab that and let's take some notes. One of my favorite things to do is organize my goals and my, you know what? And I forgot to bring my notebook in here. That's okay. I have a whole notebook I put together. I went out and got these little tabs and I tabbed out my own notebook. Sydney picked it up off the table and she thought it was a planner. I was like, nope, that's just my goals. It's a lot. But I like to really get in depth because making a plan for the year is super important to me because I have to know what the end goal is before I can really take those steps to get there. And I sometimes think people don't take their goals serious enough. Like, I know I'm not on the bandwagon of, oh, new year, new me. I'm a different person because we flipped over the calendar. I also think that there's some petty Karens out on social media that are bashing people who are trying to reset, refocus, realign, and readjust their sails. I don't think anybody thinks they're going to turn into a new person on January 1st. I do know that if you make plans on January 1st to adjust what you are doing and set some goals, maybe by the end of that 365 days, you could be a little bit of a new person. So I think that's really the gist of what people are doing. I don't think that they think they're going to flip a page and turn into a new human. So just a little bit on like the process, but before we go down that road, have you guys set your goals? Have you made your list? Have you made your notebook? I don't care what form or fashion you do it in. I don't want you to just be like, I know what my goals are up here. Nope, that doesn't work for me. They need to be in a planner. They need to be in a notebook. They need to be on a vision board. They need to be on a computer. They need to be on a list. They need to be typed up and printed out. They need to be somewhere, not here. That's fine if you want to visualize them, but they need to be drawn out, mapped out, planned out with an end game in mind. Sorry, get a little unmuter. If you have not picked your goals, I want you to start by, because sometimes people are like, I'm just really not sure if this should be on there or that should be on there, or if this is, I'm going to go over SMART goals. I'm going to give you the form again that we've given out a couple of times, but I want you to look ahead 10 years and then work backwards. And if 10 years is too far for you, look ahead 5 years. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? So whichever that is for you. And then I want you to work backwards from that, because most of our goals are pretty lofty goals. And if 5 and 10 years is too much for you, look ahead 1 year. Where do you want to be 1 year from now? And then we need to work backwards from that and take the steps to continue to move closer to where we want to be. Welcome back to the dog world. Okay, so I want you to ask yourself a couple of these questions, and then I'm going to give you examples. I'm going to give you my top 3 goals just so we have something to work off of and show. What in the world are you barking at? There's no one out there. So number 1 on your, let's have everybody kind of sit and pick your top 3 goals. And if you want to throw some in the chat, that would be awesome, so people can see some examples. I'll share mine in just a couple of minutes, but if you want to throw out like top 3 of your list, maybe one's financial, maybe one's business related, maybe one's health related, whatever that is, and throw a few in the chat for people to see. But if you're one that has not set any of your goals yet, that's totally okay. That's where we're at. That's why we're here this morning. And I want to help you with that. And maybe spend some time this next 7 days kind of mapping this out so that you do go grab yourself a nice, fancy, fresh little notebook. Amazon Prime can prime them to you really quickly. Get some nice little colorful pens out, sit on your couch this weekend or sometime this week when you have some downtime and start scribbling out what you want to accomplish. Okay. And when you're doing that, I want you to ask yourself some questions. I can post some of this stuff in our chat after the fact if you want to see these. If I knew I couldn't fail, what would I do? So 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 1 year from now, whatever you're setting your time frame as, and you're going to work backwards from. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? What are some of the things that you would do? Like, and I'll get to my list in just a second, but one of the things on my list, and I shared this on my live the other day because it's a big, hairy, scary goal. But if I don't set it, I'm not going to actually work at it. So I'm putting it out there very front and center, hopefully to hold myself accountable on my spending problems and how much I'm working my business and bringing in additional income, right? But I want us to pay off our house this year. And we don't just owe a little bit on our house. This is a very large, lofty goal. But I know that 5 years or less from now, I want to have our house in Florida. And if I want our house, this is the working backwards part, right? If I want our house in Florida, I know that we need to pay off our residence here, just because financially that's what's going to make it not just possible, because could we do both? Possibly, but who wants to be strapped like that, right? The smarter financial thing is to pay this residence off, pull a mortgage down there, buy the house in Florida, right? So my goal is to pay off the house this year. That's a little like breathtaking, okay? Because it's not a small amount of money. So if I knew I could not fail, that is one thing I would set a goal as, is to pay our house off this year. I want to do that. How is that achieving this goal will impact me and others around me? Well, I know that if I achieve paying off our house this year, it's going to help my husband not stress so much, because I love to spend money. So if I could get that accomplished, then it would make him feel a lot more comfortable about the position we're in. How will this impact others around me as far as being able to purchase a house in Florida? Well, I'll be able to take friends and family on, trips down to Florida, and instead of paying for disgustingly expensive mastermind houses, we can go and do it a little bit differently. How could this affect Luke? Well, in a few years, he's going to be out of school and picking colleges. Maybe he wants to go to college in Florida. Maybe he doesn't want to have to go to college here in cold Michigan. I don't know. Just making some progress of how this is going to, if I achieve this goal, how is this going to impact other people around me? And so you want to ask yourself those things. What happens if I don't end up achieving this goal? Now, here's where we can get into a little bit of a sticky spot. Sometimes we put goals out there and then people will not set goals because they didn't achieve the ones from the previous year. But what most of the problem is to that, and I'm be honest with you, it's the people who are putting their goals just up here and they're not putting them all down on paper. I can go back to my notebook from every single year, and my vision boards generally match what's, somewhat what's on my goals list. I mean, it's not everything because I'm printing out pictures and stuff like that, but I can go back and double check myself. If you just threw some goals up here, I will guarantee by the end of that 12 months, you are not doing a checks and balances, even if you can remember every single goal you were setting for yourself up here. Okay. So I'm asking you to put all this down on paper so that you can go back and check off what you did achieve, what you didn't achieve. Because what happens if I don't end up achieving my goals? What people do is they get to the end of that, and then they beat themselves up for not doing it. And then they don't set new goals because then they feel like, well, I didn't achieve the ones from last year anyway, so why even try? But that's not how we're supposed to be doing this. We're supposed to be looking back, and I will guarantee you've achieved some of them, but maybe you didn't achieve the biggest one. So what happens at the end of this year if I don't achieve paying off my house? I will guarantee you I'm a hell of a lot closer than I was right now, right? So even if I don't achieve that, I just set that goal again for the following year, and I work even harder at it. But I will tell you what, for 365 days, if I am working really hard towards that goal, I'm definitely getting closer to achieving it, even if I didn't get all the way there, right? Sometimes we set health goals. One of my other top goals is to reduce 15 pounds of fat storage for my body. And I want to do that by a specific date, which we'll get into in a second too. So what happens if I don't end up achieving that goal? Well, I reset it at the end of that time frame, and we work harder. We plan, we do, we review. So we plan the goals, then we do what we say we're going to do. We take the steps, and then we review them and see how we did and what do we need to change. That's why we review them and see what we need to adjust. What is the small steps I can take right now that will take me closer to my goal? We're going to get into that in just a second. I want you guys to take your goals and match them up on the SMART list. I'm going to grab at the very end here, I'll grab and try to throw the attachment in the chat. I think I can attach it. Your computer. 1 second. Let me see if I can attach it right now. So I know there's some people on here that are not in our chat. There we go. You can take that, you can print that out, you can fill that out, you can do some checks on your SMART goals. I'm not going to do a SMART goal training right now, but this is definitely a sheet that will help you do it, and it helps you put some action items to it. Okay. So number one, figure out your process. You got a journal, you got a vision board, break it down by different categories like family, finances, your faith, spiritual, personal development, personal growth, business, health, whatever those categories are for you. I have one of mine this year is social media. That's my third major goal. I have my financial one, I have my health one, and I have my one that's geared towards my business, which is my social media goal. I want to get all of my social media accounts to at least 5,000 followers or more. I'm just not setting the goal at 5,000 because I would really like some of them to just, go viral or something, but we'll work on that on Wednesdays. Right. So I know that I'm already setting my own goals up because I was like, hey, Sydney, what do you think about changing the training up Wednesdays back to your social media stuff instead of IPA? She was like, all right, I'm game. So I know that I'm going to tune in and start taking all of her wonderful advice so that I can work on my third goal. Okay. So make sure you're categorizing the goals that you want to really be working on. Remember, go look out 10 years or 5 years or 1 year and start backing it out. What are some of the things that you would accomplish or want to accomplish if you knew you weren't going to fail? And then run them through the SMART goals checklist. Make sure they're measurable and time bound and all of those things so that they make sense, because you don't want to just put out there, I want to lose 15 pounds. Okay, I want to lose 15 pounds by when? And what steps am I going to take to do that? So one thing, like, you can have outcome-based goals, and that's what that is. I want to lose 15 pounds. Process-based goals sound like this: reduce takeout meals to 3 times per week max. Or like I set mine and I want to, pause that thought for a second. As we're going through our goals, we want to break them down into actionable items, right? So taking those, let's just take the 3 examples I gave you, and you can kind of plug this into the ones that you have for yourself. Go and then make your list of what you're going to do daily, what you're going to do weekly, and what you're going to do monthly. And what I found when I was doing this with some of mine was I kind of had to like move back and forth. So some of them I had to go and plan out what I was going to do monthly. And some of those I had to go and start with what I would do daily. And then I kind of filled in all the blanks. So back to the workout thing. If I want to lose 15 pounds, I want to put by when. And then I want to talk about what I'm going to do. I need to make a plan of daily, weekly, monthly. And this needs to then, when you get the stuff that you need to do daily, these daily things need to go in your daily method of operation so that you're working on them daily. One of the biggest issues is we put these vision boards together, we put our goals list together, and then we tuck them over in the corner and we don't do anything about them. But if you actually make a plan to go with all of your goals this year, you guys, I will guarantee that your outcome at the end of 365 days is going to be much greater than if you just make the list in a notebook, print out the pretty pictures and put them on a vision board and then put them over in the corner. Execution is huge. It's one thing that I will train a lot on Mondays is executing, because I think that we as a team do a really good job of doing the vision board type stuff and getting together and getting on the Zooms and working on our business. But it's taking who do I talk to about this all the time? Amy Hammis. I am going to call you out. She is a trainer by nature. She loves to train and she loves to take training. And we talk all the time about, then you have to take all of that and execute it. So same thing with your goals, you guys. We can make this whole notebook, pretty pens, nice new notebook, make the vision board. But unless we make our daily, weekly, monthly tasks that we're going to do to get ourselves closer to that, and then we actually put it into our daily method of operation, none of those goals are going to actually come to fruition. So let's talk about that just for a second. I'm keeping an eye on the time so I don't go too far over. So for example, if I want to lose 15 pounds, I want to put by when. So I know that we're going on spring break. And so that puts a really good time frame on it for me. So it gives me about 10 weeks to do that. So if I want to lose 15 pounds in 10 weeks, that's about 1.5 pounds a week. That's not terribly outlandish, right? So what am I going to do daily to make that happen? I am committing to drinking a gallon of water, hence the water challenge. See how I fit all these things into my life when I know all the pieces. So I start doing it with everybody, right? I got an accountability group. I'm making it fun. I've got my water right here. It's already filled up, my first half gallon. And I'm going to be checking off Rhonda's poll every single day to make sure I'm doing it. So that's my daily. I'm going to drink water every single day. I'm going to work out 2 times per day for at least 20 minutes each time. I have a theory in my head that I want to try. I know that the 45 minutes twice a day didn't work for me. It was too much. But if I commit to 20 minutes twice a day, that means just getting down on my treadmill. I actually committed to that this morning and got 45 minutes in because I ended up staying on the treadmill, right? So I'm committing to 2 workouts, 20 minutes a day. I'm committing to smaller meals. I've really been working hard on limiting what I'm eating, not a specific diet, just overall consumption, minimizing it. I'm committing to doing the detox starting today. I'm committing to do it again in March. I'm limiting my alcohol. This is a weekly one. I'm limiting my alcohol to only twice per week and limiting my sugar intake. Okay, so that's my daily. All right, now let's move to weekly. I want to check in each week. I want to weigh myself. I don't want to weigh myself daily because that's really like, it messes with my head. I want to check in and make sure I lost that 1.5 pounds. I want to take some photos. I want to celebrate success in any form. If I lost a 0.5 pound, if I lost a pound, if I lost 3 pounds that week, I'm ahead of the game. I want to celebrate, take photos, plan, and do and review. Did the 20-minute workouts daily work? Did I do them? Do I want to continue that next week? Should I change that up? Don't fix what isn't broken. If it's working, do it. And then monthly for that goal, I want to weigh in again. I want to take some more photos and I want to just recalibrate. Did I lose overall the amount of weight that I wanted to lose over that month? Did I get in all those workouts? Again, plan and do and review. Now I want to take my financial goal. I want to pay my house off by the end of this year. Okay, daily. I have a really bad spending habits. So I'm making myself a checklist of like a funnel almost, right? So anytime I want to go on Amazon and purchase something, anytime I want to go out to eat, anytime I want to spend anything over a certain amount of money, I'm going to put it through this funnel. And the funnel is going to ask me a bunch of different questions on if that is something that I should be spending the money on right now, or I should not be spending the money on right now, or something I should be saving up for, or if it's something I should just completely eliminate because it's unnecessary to purchase right now. Because at the end of the year, if I do that, 20 times, that's that much money taking away from my bigger, hairier, scarier goal, right? So that's a daily thing for me. I'm going to put spending through a checklist. My weekly, I'm going to talk excess and savings on Tuesdays. I know I get paid on Tuesdays. So whatever was in my checking account that I hadn't already moved over into allotted savings and I did not spend on my spending money, that excess, if it's $62, if it's $622, if it's $30, the excess is being moved to my savings. So that's something I want to do weekly. All right. And then on monthly for that one, I had to start with this one. So like I said, you have to sometimes start with the monthly and then work backwards. I'm going to map out a budget for each month of what I can spend, what is excess money, what is going into savings, what is going into the fund to pay off the house, and estimating income. Obviously, we work in a business where you don't know exactly what your check is going to be every single week. And starting in January, sometimes the company announces some really fun things that we can work on financially. So I'm, going to adjust and rotate around, maybe something like that. So I can expect, make a plan for bringing in some additional money potentially this year. So that is just a snippet of how I go through my goals and not just go through my goals, making an actual plan to execute those goals, because that is like more important than setting the goal itself, in my opinion. So thank you for hopping on this morning. I did keep it to 30 minutes. I'm actually really proud of myself. I could have gone a little bit further, but I don't want to take up more of your time than I need to this morning. I'd rather keep these to 30 minutes. Wait.
We didn't see the link.
The link, the PDF, it's in there.
Correct. I can't see it, neither can a couple other people.
Right, for the SMART goals.
So if you click on it, what happens? It's not a link. It should just pop up. No? I see it.
Yeah, I don't see it at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
Me either.
So when you guys click on it, what happens? Just nothing?
We don't even see a link.
We don't even see it.
It's not a link.
I
Does
see a picture.
not even there for a lot of us.
You suck at computers. I mean, you have sucky computers.
Sorry, I'm on my iPad.
Okay, I will put it in our chat. I was only putting it in here because I know there's some people in here that aren't in our chat. So if you're one of those people that's not in our team chat, just hit me up on Messenger and I will send it to you individually. For the rest of you, I'll go through it in our chat right now and then you'll have it. Okay, solve that problem. Obviously, you can't attach PDFs in the chat on Zoom, which it shows for me and a couple other people are seeing it. So it might be if you're on a phone versus computer or iPhone versus Android, I don't know, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, that's all I got for you guys today. We will see you back here. Just so you are aware, we are not on Tuesdays. We are not on Thursdays. We are not on Sundays. So it's going to go Monday. Wednesday will be Sydney doing social media training, setting up challenges, setting up schedules, helping you map out your social media content. Then Fridays and Saturdays, same time, same place, will be IPAs, so that we do IPAs twice a week. Okay, guys?
Good stuff.
Later.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye, guys.
you.